A universally loved food is rice, and in this video, I'm gonna be eating and rating my country's your Indian rice recipes to find my favorite. So, yeah, let's get you started with the first one. Tomato rice by Adya's Dadi. I got this email, I saw the pictures attached, and I just knew I had to make this. Handwritten recipes, which is so special. My mom actually has also written multiple books filled with her recipes, which I think is such a cool and personal thing. Now, coming to the recipe, I obviously don't know more than your dadi, but if you directly cook chili powder in oil and don't add any liquid or even like solid to coat the spices, it's gonna burn no matter how low you keep the heat, which is what happened here as well. But it wasn't anything major and it added a good smokiness, which I think is what she wanted because we add chili powder again in the next step. I know people can get picky when it comes to nuts, but I don't think there's anybody who doesn't like cashews. Obviously, unless you're allergic to it. And yeah, cashews just taste amazing in rice. I love how this recipe is one pot. So after every ingredient has cooked down, we add water, rice, herbs like coriander and mint and boil this till the rice cooks. I pressure cooked for just one whistle because it's quicker and things cook evenly in it. Meanwhile, we make a tadka raita for which you season the curd with salt and pepper, add in one onion and then make a tempering. This has oil, mustard seeds, curry leaves, ginger and green chilies and just pour it directly into your curd. This raita is so simple yet so refreshing and flavorful, and that light crunch you get from the mustard seeds, it's so good. This rice, it was cooked perfectly, it smelled so freaking incredible and it tasted even better than it smelled. With the raita, this is a spicy, sour, super savory combo that doesn't feel too heavy on the stomach and it genuinely tasted so good. I'll give this a 7 for ease and a 9.5 for taste. Pani Bhat by Ayushi. Curd rice is like a staple food for me during summers, and I've had pokhala as well before, so I was very excited to try this curd, rice and sattu mix. Drinking a savory sattu for breakfast is actually quite common here in Calcutta, or at least from what I've seen. You get it on the streets, my dad also drinks it pretty regularly, and now you will be like, what the fuck Shivangi, but I can't eat as soon as I wake up or before I'm about to leave my house. So when I was in school, my mom used to mix Bournvita with sattu and milk, and I drank it every single day because to me it was the most delicious drink ever, and I can make a video on it if you want because I still think it's delicious, although I will have to prepare myself for all the hate I'll be getting because I don't think you're ready. This pani bhat is such an easy mix of really accessible, simple ingredients, which is so incredibly satisfying on its own. But I usually left a pro tip to eat this with homemade aloo bhujia, so I just felt like I had to make it. And this is how you can make a really crispy, crunchy aloo bhujia in an air fryer. You can even bake or deep fry, obviously, but if you have an air fryer, do this in an air fryer. And bro, getting this oil spray has been such a game changer when it comes to my air fryer. It evenly coats everything with so much ease, and then you just air fry and season. I genuinely cannot even begin to explain how comforting this was. It was kind of like a soul food. It is so well balanced. There's protein from sattu and curd, so much flavor from the achar and red chilies, and a bunch of great textures as well. Like, I really enjoyed this, and I'll give this a 10 for ease. Obviously not taking the aloo into consideration, and 9.75 for taste. You should totally get ready to see me struggle not rate every single of these rice dishes a 10 out of 10 because all of them, they were so good taste-wise. Andhra style bean kudumul by Bhadra. We chop the beans and boil them in salted water for a few minutes till they're almost cooked. While they're boiling, blend onions, green chilies, a good chunk of ginger and garlic into a paste and add this directly to the boiling beans. Give this a good mix and in goes rice flour, which when you mix it all together, it comes together really easily and you don't even need to knead it. It is like a dough. Let the dough cool till its workable temperature and then add in some coriander and then form the kudumul, and you can do any shape you like. I saw a couple reference videos and I like this shape. It's kind of like a bowl, so that's what I made, and then you just steam them. You can also cook them with a tempering, but I just wanted to try the easiest version of these, and these turned out so amazing. Like, I don't know what I was expecting of them, but I genuinely did not expect myself to like them this much. Like, they turned out great. The way we mix in the raw onions kind of reminded me of Ulli Karam a bit, and the ginger really pulls this recipe together, I think. It adds this mild sweetness and spice, and I would love to have this with some nariyal chutney or tomato chutney. I'll give this a 7.5 for ease and a 9 for taste. Chawal Chilla by Mahima's dad. I do love chilla, suji, besan, dal, but I don't think I've ever had chawal chilla. I've also had akki roti, which is what I thought this was going to be like, but it wasn't. I took day-old rice, pulsed it in a blender for a quicker process, and then transferred to a bowl along with gram flour, which adds binding, and the rest of the ingredients which add flavor and texture. This dough is a bit sticky, so the best way you can deal with it is by flattening it on a wet cloth like Mahima suggested, or a parchment paper, and use wet fingers to spread it out. Wet fingers is great because this way the rice won't stick to your fingers, and yeah, it works. Creating holes cooks the chilla evenly, and yeah, you just cook them in oil. I don't know what should I say. I feel like I'm kind of being over dramatic when I describe such simple things with lengthy sentences, but I genuinely I mean what I'm saying. This was just so good. Like, it's a very simple, very pleasant taste because rice soaks up all the flavor you toss it in, and yeah, like rice gives a soft texture. The mild sweetness that rice has, that is there, but the major flavor is from the onions and chilies and herbs. You keep things simple and it works out for you, and that's what's happening here. I'll give this a 7.5 for ease and a 10 for taste. I wasn't lying when I said it's kind of hard for me to describe these well, but yeah, I did love it. Raw Mango Rice by Nandaki. I'm not speaking for anyone else, but as someone who still hasn't had a chance to visit the southern states of India, South Indian food for me was idli dosa, uttapam, vada. Even for rice, there's lemon rice, curd rice, or tomato rice. This definitely changed as I got more educated through my India series. Like, I learned a few more dishes like pachi pulusu or mushroom chettinad, but there's so much more to explore and learn when it comes to regional foods of India, and I realized this as I was going through your emails. Like, this mango fried rice, it sounds so simple, right? But I personally would not have thought of putting raw mango in fried rice. I know people have been doing it for ages, but that's what I'm saying. I didn't know, and I'm sure some of you didn't either. You know those times when you feel like things are going too well? That's what happened here. That's what I was thinking, but then I realized I forgot to temper the chilies and curry leaves, so I did that, and thankfully it worked out. If you notice, we've kept the seasonings at minimum. There's just salt, turmeric for color, green chilies for spice, curry leaves for that mandatory, I don't know how to describe its flavor, but yeah, you know what curry leaves taste like. So you're majorly getting all of that flavor from the tangy mango, which softens into the rest of the ingredients. It adds this really nice sour but slightly sweet flavor. To add something more, we have coconut and coriander along with some leftover rice, and I mean, no surprise, I loved it. I talked about flavors, but when it comes to textures, we have crunchy chana dal and urad dal with groundnuts, which not only adds a great bite to this rice, but also it makes it more satiating. So basically, this rice is overall very balanced in terms of textures, flavors, and also nutritional value, which was kind of the theme of this video. So I feel like I don't have anything to complain about. I'll give this a 9 for ease and 10 for taste. Final verdict. For the easiest rice recipe, you have to try the Sattu Pani Bhat, and I mean, for the tastiest, I would say try them all and start with whichever one you think looks best to you. And yeah, all of them are just so good. That's it for me rating your Indian rice recipes. If you'd like me to try your recipe, I'll keep you updated on my community section. So yeah, whenever I'm making a next episode, just be sure to check that, the community section. And yeah, I'll see you very soon on my next one. Bye!
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her.